Hey, what's up, everybody, and welcome to episode 35 of the Idiotic Sports Talk. I'm your host, Liam Gavin, coming to you live from my kitchen, and today I'm going to talk about the NBA. The NBA is back. It's going to start in December. I don't know what's going to happen with the whole playing situation, if they're going to be playing at their actual court. I assume they're going to be playing at a bubble again. I really don't know. I'm just curious to think about what's going to happen with certain players that played, because we had the Lakers and Heat playing in the finals in October. They're only really getting two months rest. You had other teams like the Celtics and the Nuggets and the Clippers also playing in September, late September. So I always wonder what's going to happen, if they're going to come back healthy enough, if there's going to be a lot of injuries. Who knows? So I'm sure we'll find out. But I'm here to talk about the NBA free agency and the NBA draft today. The draft's tonight. I can't wait to get this started, but first let's dive into the NBA free agency. A big trade was the Lakers traded the 28th pick, their 28th draft pick, to the Oklahoma City Thunder for point guard Dennis Schroeder. Dennis Schroeder is going to be a perfect fit for the Lakers because he's a great point guard, and I honestly thought he was robbed for Sixth Man of the Year last season. I think that the Lakers won this trade 100%. They didn't even have a big-named point guard last year that helped them win the title. So I think they add a guy like Dennis Schroeder, a good defensive guy, a good guy who can get you points off the bench. The Lakers are definitely going to try to make another run and either win the finals again or at least make it to the conference finals. Next is the Oklahoma City Thunder trades point guard Chris Paul to the Suns. And the Suns gave up Ricky Rubio, Kelly Oubre, Ty Jerome, Jalen LeQuay, and a bunch of draft picks in order to acquire Chris Paul. Now, Chris Paul and Devin Booker are going to be a scary backcourt. You have Chris Paul being one of the best point guards all time, dishing it to one of the best shooting guards in the league in Devin Booker. I have a feeling that the Suns will make the playoffs as either an 8th, 7th, or 6th seed, because Chris Paul is an insane point guard. He's one of the best all times. And if you saw what he did last year with the Thunder's team and led them to the playoffs, there's no doubt in my mind that he's going to do the same thing with this young Suns team that he is given. Adding a vet to the Suns will definitely get them over that playoff hump, because the Suns were this close of making the playoffs last season as an 8th seed. So when you add a guy like Chris Paul to that roster, I definitely see them making a playoff run. It's tough to see who won this trade so far, but I'm going to say that the Suns slightly won it. Next, the Rockets trade forward Robert Covington to the Blazers for Trevor Ariza and a 2020 and 2021 first-round pick. Covington is going to fit the Blazers really well, but I don't agree with the Blazers giving up 2 first-round picks for him. It's funny, though, because it looks like Trevor Ariza is back in Houston. It seems like he's been in and out of Houston like 5 times already. So poor Trevor Ariza, he just can't escape the Rockets. Next big trade was the Bucks traded Eric Bledsoe and George Hill and some draft picks for Pelicans point guard Drew Holiday. This is a big move for the Bucks, honestly, because they get one of the best defensive point guards in the league to compensate Giannis Antetokounmpo. The Bucks also traded away Dante DiVincenzo, Iran Ilyasova, and DJ Wilson to the Kings for the Kings guard Bogan Bogdanovic. The Bucks are trying to do anything that they can to make sure Giannis does not leave their team. He is a superstar in the league, and it's something that the Bucks want to have for a long time. So now that I covered the big NBA free agency moves, I'm going to talk about the rumors that could potentially happen in the NBA. There's been a lot of rumors going around in the NBA about trades and signings. None have been verified, which I'm about to speak about, but they can happen. So here are the huge rumors that are going around. So we all heard about Giannis to Miami being a rumor. I don't know how true that is now that the Bucks made all of these moves in free agency, because the Bucks are really hoping that Giannis signs the $228 to $244 million Supermax. And their focus is making Giannis stay and making him the face of the Milwaukee Bucks. Next, a huge trade rumor that's supposed to happen is Rockets shooting guard James Harden getting traded to the Nets in exchange for Spencer Dinwiddie, Karis LeVert, Taurean Prince, and Jared Allen. Now, Harden playing with Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving is a scary thought, but in my opinion, I don't know how all three of them will work out because all three of those guys are ball-dominant players. Again, this is just a rumor. Nothing has been confirmed yet. Another rumor that just got shut down that was going to be pretty big was the Lakers trading Danny Green and Kyle Kuzma for Spurs shooting guard DeMar DeRozan. This will no longer happen because DeRozan picked up his $27 million player option for 2021 to stay with the Spurs. The final big trade rumor going around is that the Rockets are trading their point guard Russell Westbrook to the Knicks or the Hornets. The Rockets just traded Robert Covington, and they seem content with blowing up the whole roster, which means getting rid of James Harden and Russell Westbrook. Another Russell Westbrook trade that I saw was him going to the Washington Wizards for their point guard, John Wall. Either way, I don't expect Russell Westbrook to be a member of the Houston Rockets much longer. The Rockets seem like they have every intention of just blowing up their roster and starting from scratch and starting a rebuild. So as a Celtics fan, what I'd like to see them do in free agency, I'd like to see them trade Gordon Hayward to the Pacers for their center, Miles Turner, because the Celtics desperately need a big man. And this was a possible rumor that was floating around too. I also saw that the Celtics wanted to trade their point guard, Kemba Walker, to either the Bulls or the Pelicans, and I don't agree with that. I'm a big Kemba fan. They just got him last year. I understand he has knee issues, but I just feel like it's stupid for them to just get a point guard and then just trade him away the next season and not knowing who to replace him with. That's just my opinion. Again, these are all rumors. Nothing that I said is true. They're just rumors up in the air. Anything can happen. So now let's take a look at the NBA draft. That's tonight. There's so many talented players coming out of this year's draft. I'm only going to give you my top 3 overall picks. So I'm going to start with the number 1 overall pick for the Minnesota Timberwolves, Anthony Edwards, shooting guard out of Georgia. He'd be an amazing fit for the Timberwolves, especially playing alongside point guard D'Angelo Russell and center Karl Anthony Towns. Number 2 overall pick is the Golden State Warriors. I think they're going to draft center James Wiseman out of Memphis. The thought of James Wiseman going to the Warriors and playing with the Splash Brothers is a scary thought. Like, even when the Warriors won 3 titles recently, they never had a legit center. Curry and Thompson, Steph Curry and Klay Thompson coming back healthy, being put with James Wiseman as a center will make them championship favorites again. So that's my prediction for the Warriors, is that they're going to grab James Wiseman. Number 3 belongs to the Charlotte Hornets, and I think they're going to take point guard LaMelo Ball. A lot of hype surrounds LaMelo Ball's name because his brother Lonzo Ball went number 1 overall in the 2017 draft to the Los Angeles Lakers. I think LaMelo is going to be better than his brother Lonzo, and I think he's going to be a perfect fit for the Hornets considering that they need a point guard badly. And if the rumors are true about Russell Westbrook going to the Hornets, I think those two together will be a lethal backcourt. Now, as a Celtics fan, I hope they draft the best big man available. They have pick number 14. They might even trade up. I heard rumors of them possibly trading their pick as well to try to get the best big man available. They could potentially draft a point guard depending on if they get rid of Kemba Walker or not. So who knows? We'll see. The 2020 draft, it's coming tonight. I'm definitely going to be watching it. So once again, thank you all for tuning in. That concludes today's episode. And make sure you follow me on Instagram, subscribe to my YouTube channel, like, share, do whatever you can to promote my page. I appreciate you all and have a wonderful night.